Well, yeah, brother, absolutely I can. First of all, happy birthday. Happy pre-birthday. We'll get to it. Yeah, I think the Davashili Nurmagomedov fight is absolutely incredible, like everybody else. And I think that Davashili is being taken wrong. I think people are saying he's afraid of Nurmagomedov because he didn't exactly push for the fight when it was originally brought up. And let me tell you what I really think about that. Davashvili is an excellent grappler, obviously. His striking leaves a lot to be desired, but because he's so good at grappling, his very strange style of striking works for him because he's just so awesome grappling. But because of that, it took a really long time for Davashvili to get the respect he deserved. It took a really long time for him to get the title shot. Just like Belal Muhammad. I mean, from the UFC point of view, it can be more beneficial to have a striker like Sean O'Malley or Leon Edwards in the champion spot than a guy who's going to grind you out like a grappler. And that's for the fans. And so I know why they do that. And Davashvili's a champ now, and he thinks to himself, hey, man, I want Nurmagomedov to work as hard as I did to get this title shot. Like, let him beat everyone in front of him. Let him have 10 wins in a row. Then I'll give him a title shot. And that's just not the way. Why isn't it that way for Nurmagomedov? Well, let's be honest. Part of it is his bloodline, right? Like, he is related to Khabib. And the rest of that family that is basically like MMA royalty right now. They're not quite Gracie status. I don't think that'll ever come back, but they're certainly in this modern age probably the most feared family in the sport. And I think after thinking about it for a while and seeing what the crowd was pushing, Davashvili said, okay, you know what? Let's do it right now. What do I think will actually happen? It's a fascinating question. Nurmagomedov is being rushed a little bit. There's no doubt. But on the other hand of it, that family has learned how to combine this strange element of striking there, almost like the Terminator. They don't do any fancy kicks. They don't do anything very fancy, but they come forward. They know how to defend themselves enough where they don't get very hurt, and they turn it into a brawl that they can turn into the grappling, which is their strength. Davashvili doesn't really have that. He uses his grappling entirely to make that weird style of striking he has work. So I'm torn on it. Davashvili's more experienced. Davashvili's done more in his career, but at the same time, his stand-up is lacking. Now, well, if Nurmagomedov puts it together, like, his cousin and comes out there like one of the members of that team, he could very well defeat Davashvili. But that's what makes it such a fascinating fight, man. I can't wait for it. I think it's the best on the card. The Islam versus that other guy, I don't find it as fascinating as this one. But either way, it's a great card, man. One of the best I've ever had. Read my book, Warrior of the Light.